In 63 BC, the Roman Republic faced one of its most infamous political crises, the Catiline Conspiracy. At the heart of this turmoil stood two prominent figures, Marcus Tullius Cicero, a skilled orator and statesman, and Lucius Sergius Catilina, better known as Catiline, a disgruntled aristocrat with radical ambitions. Their clash epitomized the broader social and economic tensions of the late Republic, a period rife with corruption, class struggles, and power struggles between the Senate and ambitious populist leaders. The Catiline Conspiracy, uncovered and thwarted by Cicero, became a defining moment in Roman political history, reinforcing the importance of oratory, intelligence, and swift action in the preservation of the Republic. Catiline was a member of a once prominent patrician family that had fallen into relative obscurity. Despite his noble lineage, he struggled to achieve the political power he desperately sought. His career was marked by ambition and scandal. He had previously been accused of extortion and other crimes, though he was never convicted. After losing the consular elections twice, first in 65 BC and then again in 64 BC, he became increasingly desperate. Catiline's grievances were not purely personal. They reflected the broader discontent among certain segments of Roman society. Veterans of Sulla's dictatorship, heavily in debt and longing for land and rewards, formed a significant portion of his support base. Additionally, many impoverished aristocrats and disaffected citizens saw in Catiline a leader who could overturn the corrupt oligarchy of the Senate and bring about radical economic and social reforms. His plan was nothing short of revolutionary. Catiline aimed to overthrow the Republic through a combination of political subversion and military force. He recruited conspirators from various social classes, including senators, equestrians, and disgruntled soldiers. His scheme involved assassinating key senators, seizing control of the government, and inciting an uprising throughout Italy. However, his reckless approach and overconfidence would ultimately lead to his downfall. As consul in 63 BC, Cicero faced the daunting challenge of maintaining stability amidst growing unrest. A staunch defender of the Republic, he was well aware of the dangers posed by ambitious men like Catiline. Cicero relied heavily on intelligence gathering and political maneuvering to counter the conspiracy. Through informants and intercepted letters, he was able to uncover Catiline's plans before they could come to fruition. One of Cicero's key allies was Gaius Antonius Hybrida, his co-consul, who was initially suspected of sympathizing with Catiline, but later played a role in defeating his forces. With mounting evidence of treason, Cicero took decisive action. He convened the Senate in the Temple of Jupiter Stator, an emergency meeting where he would deliver one of the most famous speeches in Roman history. Cicero's 4 orations against Catiline, known as the Catilinarian orations, were masterpieces of rhetoric that galvanized the Senate and the people of Rome against the conspirators. His first speech, delivered on November 8, 63 BC, famously began with the words, "Quo usque tandem abutere, Catilina, patientia nostra." How long, O Catiline, will you abuse our patience? In this speech, Cicero directly confronted Catiline, accusing him of plotting against the Republic and urging him to leave the city. He painted a vivid picture of the impending doom Rome faced if the conspiracy were to succeed. The second oration, addressed to the Roman people, reinforced the urgency of the situation, portraying Catiline as a traitor who had fled the city but was still a threat. The third speech provided concrete evidence, including intercepted letters which implicated Catiline's co-conspirators. Finally, the fourth oration was delivered in the Senate to persuade the senators to take immediate action against the captured conspirators. Cicero's speeches were instrumental in turning public opinion against Catiline. His ability to blend emotional appeal with logical argumentation made his words immensely persuasive, ensuring that the Senate acted decisively to eliminate the threat. In response to Cicero's accusations and growing opposition, Catiline fled Rome to join his armed supporters in Etruria. Meanwhile, Cicero orchestrated the arrest of several key conspirators, including Lentulus and Cethegus. After debating the proper course of action, the Senate, swayed by Cicero and others, opted for the execution of the conspirators without a formal trial, a controversial decision that would have lasting political repercussions. As for Catiline, he attempted to rally his forces but found himself outnumbered and outmaneuvered by the Roman army led by Gaius Antonius Hybrida. In early 62 BC, the decisive Battle of Pistoria took place. Catiline fought bravely but was ultimately killed, along with most of his followers. His death marked the end of the conspiracy, but the issues he exploited, economic inequality, political corruption and disenfranchisement, would continue to plague Rome for decades. The suppression of the Catiline Conspiracy cemented Cicero's reputation as a defender of the Republic. He was hailed as a hero and granted the honorary title Pater Patriae, Father of the Fatherland. His speeches and decisive actions were celebrated, and his political philosophy, centered on law, order and republican values, remained influential for centuries. However, Cicero's triumph came at a cost. The extrajudicial execution of the conspirators was later used against him by political rivals, including Publius Clodius Pulcher, leading to his temporary exile in 58 BC. Furthermore, the underlying tensions that Catiline sought to exploit did not disappear. The Republic continued its downward spiral, eventually culminating in the rise of Julius Caesar and the transition to imperial rule. Despite these later challenges, Cicero's legacy endured. His writings on politics, philosophy, and rhetoric have shaped Western thought for millennia. The Catiline Conspiracy serves as a testament to his skill as an orator and statesman, illustrating the power of words in shaping history. The Catiline Conspiracy was a pivotal episode in the late Roman Republic, highlighting the fragility of the state and the ever-present threat of political subversion. Catiline's ambitious but ultimately doomed attempt to seize power was met with Cicero's masterful rhetoric and strategic acumen. Through his speeches and swift action, Cicero not only preserved the Republic for the time being, but also left behind a lasting example of the power of eloquence and vigilance in the face of tyranny. Although the Republic would eventually fall, the lessons of the Catiline Conspiracy remain relevant, reminding us of the challenges that come with maintaining a just and stable government.